And didn't, you know,
You talk about that
sticky tab, yeah.
yeah, when those occurs.
What?
I think we're doing it as a tradition.
Oh, that's a good thing.
It's good for you.
She's got two of them.
Any MS.
Are you good, Gail?
Yes.
Good. Oh, the new one gonna work?
I've tested it several times, but you know how that goes.
Where's your computer?
Jim.
So you're plugging in both of them, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I like that
I
part.
wonder if you should put one in a different place to catch, you know what I mean? Kinda makes sense to me if you got two of them.
See, you're plateauing. Hopefully it'll pick up.
Well, you know, if you got two of them, I think that makes sense, so.
That doesn't.
Oh, be careful.
No, it's not gonna stand.
I think I had to.
Is it on?
Yeah, they're both on.
Your time?
Yep,
It
we
is.
could, move, it's 5:59, so. Welcome everybody to Hermosa Town Board regular meeting Tuesday, August 16th, 2022 at 6 p.m. We'll start with our roll call. Hendrickson also is here, Kramer,
Here,
Schumacher,
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Appreciate everybody in the crowd being here tonight, and seeing you all here, so Mr. Haig, Gail, please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all.
I'll be careful next time. Roll that right into
When you
you.
always say three.
Any changes from you, Gail?
No, sir.
Any changes from the board? Not, motion to accept the agenda is read.
I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes it, second by Hendrickson. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 3 is the consent calendar, the approval of the August 2nd, 2022 regular meeting minutes and August 11th, 2022 special and executive session minutes.
I'd make the motion for discussion.
Okay, I have Kramer that made the motion, second by Hendrickson. You had a discussion?
Yeah, I do. The minutes show for the first time, that citizen input was, let me get to it here. One citizen had input, trustee input said 4 trustees had input. And that's, I've never seen that before, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I'm not saying I necessarily disagree with it either. But I think the timing is wrong on that. I would like to see the input added in on those items, and then I would like to propose that if that is what the board wants in these sections, in order to save money, that we vote on that and agree upon that it's as minor as that. And I get that, it does, there was a lot of input at that particular meeting, which means a lot of money for the minutes in the newspaper. And as Terry and I talked about it, she had said that she thought maybe it was good enough that the people, when they wanted to see it could, or hear it, could go to the recording of it and hear everything, and then that doesn't cost as much money to the citizens by having it
Right.
recorded. Sorry, I spoke for you,
That's
and I shouldn't have
fine.
done
You
that.
always do.
Oh, always? Huh,
Well,
okay.
not always. But then also in the minutes, when they need to reflect, I think basically the legal things, so that we have documentation if we need to go back on something. motions made on water, motions made on whatever Chuck might be doing, you know, things
Yep.
like that, and not a lot of, well, let's see, like the engineer, just the different things there and stuff on the planning and zoning, just the major issues.
Hendrickson.
I would like to also see the information put back in. I don't feel that it was a money-saving issue. I feel like it was a judgment issue, things that you don't want said at that point in time. However, citizens have the right to say it. I think everybody should have their view and it should be published. We've always done that. I don't see a reason to change it now, just because it's not the popular opinion of what you want to hear.
Thank you. Yeah, and we just kind of follow Robert's rules is what it's been and what we need to do in the municipal league following where they're at and then final approval of them situations. And there's other ones that we could even get more plainer on a lot of our descriptions in here to cut back on how much we are doing for our editing and stuff of that nature. So we'll take that under consideration. And then the only thing I also noticed is that the school should set their sprinkler schedule to every other day. That was more just discussion. I missed that one when we did the review. That didn't need to be put in there for that portion of the, what we were discussing on water restrictions. That was just a comment that we made that we should advise and look into also on that circumstance, so.
Where was that at, Ben? Under
The
Here,
top
on
of the back
next
page.
Oh,
And I just, when we did the review, I missed it. Okay? Yes,
The only other thing I wanted to say is that, and I know it's in the past, but in the past, I believe when I was president, we, did not put in very much in the minutes. It was a decision made by the board to save a little money. I know it's not much money, but it, was done in the past that way. But there again, I believe this is a decision of this board, whether it's done that way now or not. But like I said, I do believe that what happened in the last meeting should be put in the minutes.
and I guess
That's all.
it is in the minutes telephonically on our recordings on our website. And so everything is clear and brought through on judgment of that, so. And I believe, Mr. Haig, if I remember right, that it is that one duty of the president to approve the minutes and accept what was being put in. You can put your hand down and all with you. And then move forward with there, but I guess I didn't look further into Robert's rules on that portion of it, on the minutes also, that I suppose if the board wanted some direction on that, we could have a discussion on that and go further on that element also.
I don't know that it's entirely the prerogative of the board president to approve or disapprove the minutes. It's and that's why you have the call for approval of the minutes as part of the official action of the board on the agenda itself. And then, of course, that gets recorded properly into the minutes for that next meeting. With that said, that also gives any board member, including the president, being able to want to amend the minutes as they believe would be appropriate. And then you can vote on that and say, well, that's not something that should be in the minutes or needs to be in the minutes, whatever. But there's meaningful input that's allowed before actual minutes go out. And those minutes go out, as I recall, I believe are signed by the finance officer as the official publication. Whether or not there's huge money savings is something that you guys, whether you've experienced that or not, but it's not just publication, it's also the time it takes to put together a almost verbatim type of minutes would be, I think, daunting, especially when you type like I do, because I can't. But the recording on our website is very helpful. as a requirement, the minutes have to be complete enough for a reasonable person to be able to determine whether or not something happened or did not happen. Official acts, of course, and in such detail that you can tell by reading the minutes, and not only was it passed upon, but what did that mean, so forth and so on. If you want to know more than that, then you delve deeper into the agenda piece, or you listen to the full accounting of the deal. So it's to go word for word is unusual. It's the prerogative of the board, but I guess that's about all the obvious things I can say about it. It needs to, so that a person can reasonably determine what happened.
Thank you. Well, and then also it's in the development of personality and some of the descriptions of the minutes too, where we don't need to involve that, in fairness to individuals also. And then when the municipal league changed it, that's when they changed it for the names of who made motion, who didn't make the motion, and all of that, to a clarity of that. So, Henriksen?
Seems to be that the timing is all of a sudden when the heat's on other people, we change the rules. And what was said the other night should have been published. It was completely legit. Other things have been said about other people and they were published quite easily. Nobody had a huge conflict over that. It just seems like at this point in time, it's becoming a selection of the board president instead of the board.
Okay. Anything further? Yes, sir.
Yes, going back to it and talk about the meeting minutes. In the past, they had.
One point I was gonna make though is that, and Rapid City does it to the speakers all the time, as do a lot, is that because it is recorded, go ahead and state your name and resident of Hermosa.
Okay, that's not personality.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Tell a few jokes along the way.
Yeah. My name is Jerry Stiles, and the concern, I'm not so concerned about how much gets into the meeting minutes. If it was like it used to be in the past, where all the recordings were saved forever. Now the recordings are up for 2 days, 2 weeks, and then they go away. So there's no way to go back, for the public to go back and look at that. So it needs to be one or the other. Say what was stated in the minutes, or put the recordings out there forever. Like they were in the past, until someone started looking at the recordings and coming up with stuff that shouldn't have been happening, how other people were treated in meetings, and then all of a sudden they had to disappear.
Thank you.
That's my input.
So we had a motion to approve and second. We went into discussion. So I'm gonna call for vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Can I put in an amendment first?
Well, we're gonna vote on this motion first, and then if we wanna change that and do another motion,
Okay.
then you're allowed to do that, to change what you may want to in the minutes.
Thank you.
So we have one aye, and then all opposed say the same
Aye.
sign.
Nay?
Nay.
So we have 3, 4, okay? So second
nay.
motion,
Make a motion to amend the minutes to add some trustee input and citizen input into the meeting minutes for Tuesday, August 9th, is it? No, August. Guess I better have my date right. August 2nd, excuse me.
Is that your motion?
Yeah, so,
Okay.
so I have a motion and second by Shimon.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Okay, and so what we'll do is have a review of that then next meeting, and have Gail put them together, and then see what you think prior to the meeting, and then we'll approve it at the next meeting. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, nay. Okay. All right, with that being said then, we have also, did you have a question, Dale, or?
No, thank you.
Okay. We also have the special and executive session minutes to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Kramer,
A second.
second by Thomason. Further questions? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I have to abstain on the executive session because I left before the end.
Yeah, and there was no action, so we appreciate that. Okay, motion carried. Item 4 is the conflict of interest declaration. Anybody have any conflict of interest declarations on anything in your agenda here?
I believe so.
Okay. Item 4 is claims that were presented. Yes, ma'am.
Could I amend those claims that are in this packet tonight to delete Golden West? We, I paid that on the 8/3.
Golden
Packet.
West, and what was the amount?
It was for $563.50.
What's the new total then?
$13,110 cents.
13,000.
Right.
13,100.10, correct.
Okay. Motion to approve and seconded.
I'll make that motion.
Kramer
Oh, I
makes,
probably better not. My name's right
Yeah,
on
you
there
better
too.
not, you can't.
Nope.
I'll make the motion.
Thomason
Second.
makes the motion, second by
Thank you.
Hendrickson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay,
So that being said, can I discuss the flags just a tiny bit?
No,
No?
sure.
trustee input, be a
I-
great spot.
Oh, okay, I'll wait. Thank you.
We'll follow through on our agenda. So, next, law enforcement abatements. I don't see we have anybody here tonight from Custer County on that side of it for committee report or logs. Abatements, we had,
So I have some paperwork to hand out on that board, I guess.
And I have some stuff.
okay, yep, and which will then deal with that for the law enforcement portion of it first.
I guess maybe Kent gets one and Vicki gets one.
Bullshit.
Oh, maybe.
I don't put it out.
Go ahead, Trent.
Okay. This is going to take a minute because some of this is hard to read. I've tried writing stuff down in my own handwriting, but there have been multiple complaints, citizen input basically, that, and the way I understand it, since this is my first time doing this, is we have, basically it comes to me and then I go and verify, and or vice versa, one person, and we have a second person verify everything. Some of these didn't need verified, they're just, well, they're complaints, and then some of them did. But, and a lot of these are for a particular person.
And you keep the person anonymous, of course.
Yes, the person that submitted it is anonymous, as well as, and I don't even know who they were, so it's very good. It's already
Sure.
anonymous. All right, so this person, so what is it? Dan Holdsworth lied to Custer County Commission about a resolution being approved by the board, and it was not. So, and then, do we do recommendations, or?
Well, and it's stuff on the abatement side of them, what should be done as the attorney reviews them, and you get with the attorney before you bring anything further. Then, just like we did with other incidences of legalities, then the attorney will review them. If it's something of that nature and claims of that nature, then he'll bring fact if it needs to be addressed.
So should I get with the attorney first for all of
Correct.
these before bringing
Correct.
them up? Okay.
So I'm sorry,
Henderson?
just had a question while it's fresh in my mind, excuse me. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
So what you were just starting to read was somebody's defense to a complaint that was made against their property?
Oh,
What was that about?
No, it was just about a resolution being approved by the board and it was not, so,
So and this stuff all needs to factually be sorted out because it's a one-side position on them.
okay.
And so until they're factually sorted out to make sure that they are an entity, it's a one-sided thing, so.
But is this germane to a nuisance abatement?
No, these are
It's not a
just,
nuisance abatement,
their
it's
complaints. Their customer or citizen
Under law
complaints.
enforcement, we do complaints.
Complaints about
People.
nuisance.
Anything.
Anything, I
People.
mean,
Okay.
it's,
And
and
they've
it's,
been
okay.
verified.
not all of these
I
are,
got you, okay.
yeah,
Just
one
wanted to
person,
understand.
they're all different things, like, there's one where tires were left in the right of way over on Donna and Ferguson. I went and, it was verified whenever I went to second check it, they weren't there. So that was, and the recommendation was removal of the tires, they're obviously removed. But yeah, there's, so just get with the attorney then for all of these
Right.
first.
And was there another board member that verified with you?
Yes, there was.
Okay? Yeah, because if they're, you know, with Kramer and DeVig have been doing the weeds, noxious matter, that stuff, that type of situation. So what would be good is be, just like what this report is here, for example, that she has for the weeds and matter that we act on that it should be discussed on them purposes
Okay,
and then verified through. If it's something of personal effect, then it needs to be addressed with the attorney, like we've had complaints come in that Mitch handled on personal effects too, and then sent letters to him.
Well, at least it should be an immediate determination of a factual basis for any statement. So if somebody writes in or makes a complaint that so-and-so is an SOB or they're a liar or whatever, that's a matter of opinion oftentimes, and isn't worthy to be, especially if it's anonymous, for crying out loud.
correct.
Isn't worthy to be in open forum on the record.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hendrickson, you had a question?
Some complaints were previously taken to Mitch, and Mitch would not deal with them. He would not even look at them.
I guess that wasn't ever brought to that attention or awareness or the board,
So
because
sometimes the attorney is not necessarily your recourse. I'm not sure what actually is.
I guess we never seen other statements of effect ever brought in. So if they were, they should have been brought to the attention of us if Mitch wasn't, and then handled. Yes, ma'am.
I brought some in pertaining to law enforcement and some issues with the two gentlemen that were employed. And they went to the committee and never heard another word from them. No resolution, no apologies, no nothing. So, in effect, I'm a little disgruntled with the whole situation.
Okay, well, we'll review them and go through them with the attorney there and
Correct.
have that situation where he can make his decision on. That way they'll be addressed.
Yes. All right. Well, then I will get with.
Brett and I are both on law enforcement.
I'll schedule a meeting.
Because I know that's
Mr.
good pie.
Hayden.
That'd be
Yes.
appreciated.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're still after that.
Yep.
Bob?
Yeah, right.
All right. Thank you.
Anything further
No, that
on that
was it.
side of it? Okay, Kramer.
Okay. On the abatements on your sheet, you'll see A, B, C, D, E, and F. We just need approval to hire someone to fix these, take care of these issues. They have been notified. It has been verified late this afternoon that they were still untaken care of. And there are pictures here to show the areas. some of the areas, and,
Haven't we been contracting with Mr. Ferguson to,
there has been on some for, I just felt like maybe it was time to have an approval on some of these, and we were within the timeline to do so anyway, so I thought it was good to bring it up in meeting form.
because with the ordinance, you're allowed to have him do it in a timeline and move forward with it. So, my opinion is that you follow that same process, and if they're in that timeline, move ahead with it, because there's several others that need to be addressed too that I know you were dealing with.
Some of them have, I don't know which ones you're talking about, there have been some that have been taken care of. There's also some that have not, made their deadline yet, you know, I mean, they have a few days yet to make that deadline, so, but these are the ones that are ready now.
So then, we'll do a follow-up then on the others.
And are these like people who are not willing to do it or just unable to do it? Do we know?
I believe most of them are unwilling to do it because Jill has made a very good point of calling and contacting people, and she's offered herself and her husband to help people. She has been kind enough to call people and find out what their issue is, why they have not handled it. And she's gotten some very good reasons and dates from certain people that they would be done. So, to my knowledge, what I would believe is that these are people that are unwilling, I guess.
Answer the question.
Gail, would you
Yep,
agree with
answers my
that?
question completely.
I agree. The two of them have got this process down really, really well, and these guys are already past due. So if we're gonna go out and abate them, it needs to be done immediately rather than later, so that we can follow what our ordinance stipulates. So there's 6 of them there that would need to be abated.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, on these, do you board members go around to all of these houses around town and check to see how their places look and whether they're cleaned up?
There's complaints brought to us, and then board members also will verify the complaints. It takes 2 board
Right,
members.
but what about board members getting their places cleaned up?
If there's a complaint,
Oh, only if there's a complaint?
correct.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
So, and
I-
that's what triggers it, just like our ordinance, and it's written very clearly in the ordinance, so.
Cause I thought, that you went around and looked, but, I mean, are people complaining about it and putting
Correct.
in? Oh, they are, okay.
So we just follow that stream on how we are on that portion of it.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
So we'll move ahead with them, have that situation in them circumstances, follow that process. And, as always, if Mr. Ferguson can't contract or get to them, then I don't know if we called that AMB that's in town, that we were also gonna ask them if they had the availability since they were down here, and if they wanted to get their contractor's license, and also be another option if it gets too busy for Mr. Ferguson on them.
Does everybody agree with that? Carrie, you want?
You have a
Greg?
question?
Yes.
Yeah, Greg Neckbauer. For the fairgrounds, we had a complaint down there too, and the property, the road that it said our complaint was on, really wasn't ours. I talked to Jill. She kinda told us where it was, but we really couldn't see anything wrong. I mean, there was a few sticks of alfalfa on the inside of the fence that the steers didn't eat, but I guess if the complainer's still complaining, then we just need a better description of where that was located.
See, and I think it was a description of property was what was wrong. I know you and I had kind of
Oh,
talked
okay,
about
so
it.
that's what,
Correct.
okay, so
Yeah,
that was
'cause the
about the
grounds-
property.
on the fairgrounds was
Yeah.
immaculate. I mean, it was
Okay.
nice.
So
And
it was
girls
just where
bust
the-
their tail to do what they do.
Their
down
yard
there.
was in the middle of our property problem. Okay.
No, it was going down the other one on Josie.
Okay.
Is where we had the discussion about it, so
Okay.
that's all that was.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Okay, yes, sir.
Yep. Jim Crossman. Ms. Kramer, you said something about A, B, C, D, E, and F or something like that. Was that a motion to approve those?
No.
Okay.
The paperwork that that Jill set up for us is, that's just how she
It's okay.
numbered it or lettered it that way so that we would have descriptions to easily follow without mentioning names or properties or anything.
Okay, thank you for that. I just want to talk about this letter from the Department of Ag and Natural Resources dated July 26th. So at some point, let me
Yeah,
know what the
under
right
citizen
place is.
input.
What's that?
Citizen input,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you. Okay. So we'll await, hopefully there'll be a log for the law enforcement next meeting, and then Custer County log, the abatement properties. Dumpster, we had one discussion on that segment of it also, where we had one individual that we had physically caught, that was an out-of-town person dumping debris in our dumpsters, and I brought that to attention on that portion of it. And we've never acted on it. I actually caught one during the fair here too, when I was down working on the streets, and asked that gentleman where he was from. He was from Paramount Point, and I asked him, he said, well, can I still dump it? And I said, absolutely not. I said, the signs are pretty clear on what we have. And I said, so you need to load back into your truck what you put on there. And he said, no way. And I said, yeah, or cough up $450 to pay for the dumpster and be fine with us, you know? And the gentleman expressed then that he started taking the stuff back out of the dumpster and put it in his truck, left, and then dropped a bunch of the debris in the middle of the road. And Phil was nice enough to stop and drag some of the branches out of the road that he dropped, and I picked them up and took them back down, and we have license plate number and description of the vehicle. But it's just unfortunate, the respect level on the yard waste dumpsters for the in-town residents and what we're trying to accomplish and what we're trying to keep fees down and be a convenience for the in-town residents. So I can't say that the gentleman that was dumping that I physically caught, and we have pictures of, also filled that whole dumpster, but there had been a lot of material brought, and I looked down, see if anybody's active, and there was no activity. So I feel we need to send a letter at minimum to that individual expressing that he knows there is no out-of-town dumping, and that with that occurrence, we could charge him admin fees and the cost of the dumpster for his participation in it. I feel any of them deserve a warning first and a letter first. And no harshness, we're just trying to be fair with everybody across the board. So I would like the ability for us to send that individual a letter, and I felt the board needed to know that, and if that's okay with them.
I would agree with the letter. It's another one of those situations that makes you wonder if we should just eliminate the service.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at.
exactly.
Just get rid of it because it's such a
Then we
hassle.
won't have an issue anymore.
It's so sad because it is such a great service to the citizens.
We can just bring it in once a year when we do the dumpsters or the cleanup.
Well, we'll give that some thought before the next meeting and see what we think, about that portion of it. And, I know with the conveniences of it and the inconveniences, if we eliminate it, in the circumstances of that aspect of it, it's hardest on the seniors, is who it's hardest on. And there's a lot of them that take advantage of it that are very appreciative of it. And a lot of the single moms, there's a lot of usage, and I
know.
guess I
It's
see a lot of it
wonderful
because
use,
I'm so heavily involved with it all the time. So the appreciation of it is, I hear more good than I do bad. I think if we just do our continuation with the few and hope that the honor roll works well on it, and if it doesn't, in the continuation of what we're at in our positionings, then we just kind of take it from there. So we'll take some thought on that.
Do you need a motion for the letters to be signed to those who were out of town?
That would be helpful.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Kramer, second by Thomason, discussion.
I just want to let people know that the town is, Dutch elm disease is going through all of our trees in Hermosa. So anything 2 years and younger is dying very quickly. We probably will need those dumpsters before too long because there's going to be dead trees everywhere.
Yeah, they have American elms. The Chinese elms are the majority of what we have, and we just don't have any American elms in town. We have the Chinese elms, which are,
Well, they're dying
Affected.
everywhere if you go look.
yes, ma'am.
This is kind of maybe a personal question, but was that pickup a red pickup by any chance?
No,
Oh, okay, because I seen a red pickup down there that when nobody was around and he was looking around very suspicious and I was, you know me, I'm dejected here, and I was gonna stop and check, but I didn't, so.
well, we've asked people just license plate number and description, and the police department can run it, and then we know if they're in-town resident or not.
Okay,
90% of them I know who is and isn't, and that's
Yeah.
why
yeah.
when you're coming by and you see them
Because
circumstances.
he had a lot of, you know, but he just acted suspicious, so I was detected. I didn't do anything about it.
Do a citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
I know where your tractor tires are too, that were probably picked up off the road. I think you might have been the dumpster at the fairgrounds.
Oh, really?
We cleaned one of them out and there was 2 tractor tires and a tube in there.
Oh.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 7 is legal. Welcome, Mr. Haig. We don't have anything, which is an easy task for you this evening. The only question I have since you're in presence is under Public Works, we have an item F, notice of violation, order of compliance and settlement of agreement. And I know there's statements of effect on what you can and can't discuss in executive session. And on that one, I wondered, with it in our discussion of what there is in the violations that are in that compliance letter, if that shouldn't be in an executive session, that discussion is held, or what your feeling or opinion of that is.
It goes obviously right down to the content of what is or is not worthy of being an executive session. When it comes to an independent contractor, there are certain aspects of that, such as negotiation of the deal, taking bids from several contractors, and all that should be done out in the bright open sunlight, right? But when it comes to a situation where we received a notification, the town received notification from a regulatory agency seeking to impose a fine or fee and enter into a settlement, that's clearly a discussion regarding pending legal action. And that's clearly under the purview of an executive session if so desired by the city council, by the town board. So it's up to you. If you want to have it in executive session, it may be appropriate. Again, not being fully advised of the matter. I have read the letter from DNR, and a copy of the settlement is clearly asking for a legal settlement to a particular infraction. That certainly can be discussed in executive session, and of course, anything that is discussed, no official action is to take place inside the executive session. A full discussion of the action to be taken is done in regular meeting, and So there's pluses and minuses, but the hard and fast thing is that, as you all know, that an official action cannot be taken or made in executive session. So, in order to fact find and determine a particular strategy, so the board is well informed on its decision making, that's appropriate for executive session under this kind of scenario. Now, whether or not it's like, again, like a price rate structure or something like that, those kind of negotiations. And if the board deemed it necessary or helpful, asking the contractor to be in the executive session is fully permissible, whomever you may choose to invite.
Thank you. And then I'd like, I know Schumacher made mention that she feels until we get Mitch back in the saddle again, that we would like you to come to every board meeting, and feels that way it will keep us in good order that way, as the rest of the board's still in that favoritism too.
Do we need a motion?
No, he's already been contracted to work for the town. It's just a matter where we wanted to make everybody aware of that we want him to come to the meetings, be here for legal representation until we do get Mitch back in the saddle.
If I may though, it probably would be helpful just to alleviate any concerns or later, any allegations or whatever, that I've been retained or actually hired in the form of like a special counsel when it comes to tax increment issues or a few other things. So I guess my official engagement here would be acting or interim city attorney until Mitch gets back, which city attorney being an official post. That one I think would be appropriate for the board to articulate and vote on.
Okay.
Excellent.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Kramer makes it, Hendrickson seconds it. Further discussion? Did you have a question, sir?
What my question was, I just wanted a clarification on one of the things that Mr. Hagan mentioned. And I fully understand what you're talking about. You know, they can go into executive session, they can come up with a strategy and say, how do we do this stuff? But I just want to be clear that what you said, they can't really make a decision what's going to happen there. They got to come back out and say, okay,
Of course.
and make it known to the public, this is what the settlement is, and this is maybe how we're going to handle it or do things.
Absolutely.
Of course.
And an official action would require a motion, a first and a second. And
Outside of executive session.
Which brings about the public discussion. You know, and then you get a full and thorough discussion of whatever the issue may be. You can't just come in and, okay, everybody's in favor of that, how about it? And you can't do that, no, you're right.
And you'll accept this position in the interim?
I announced my retirement from this post about 12, 13 years ago.
However,
You guys are so damn much fun.
I mean, we helped your career start off.
That's true.
Yeah.
And look where I am now.
Okay, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
All in
Thank
favor,
you.
say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. Under engineer, we have, item A is the water rehab project, WRT, of course, wait until the October, November funding. Hermosa sidewalk project, we have information, that was sent in about that. And this packet is a quite large packet, so if anybody wants to review it, it's here to review on what the cost of it was for that first phase. And then Zach just sent another one with the indications of the second phase, which he felt would be done in probably the 2-year period. The first phase goes from the school down here to 2nd Street, following Bylas. And that's what this has been broke out to. The second phase then was to go down the rest of 2nd, turn on 1st Street, go up to 40, then go down towards Ferguson. And so that was the second phase of this state program. And with this, then this would be the initiation of that sidewalk project and where we would be at to go to bid on it and then put it into formation. So you can all review that. Did Zach say, he didn't say anything about needing a motion for this approval, because it's gotta go to the state
He did.
State's gotta do their review, put it into the bid process, then come back to us.
Correct.
So that's where we'll be at on that portion of it.
So we can just leave this up there at the office for us all to review
Correct.
before the next meeting?
Correct.
Okay.
Anybody that cares can see it, see what the numbers are, what they've done. And then remember, it's an 80-20 split. The state pays for 80%, we pay for 20. C is the sewer project, the lagoon expansion. It has been signed. It is ready to have Gail send it back to DANR once she fills out her portion of it. And then we'll move ahead with that as well. We've made a motion to approve. Item D is the water sewer facility plans, resolutions, reviews. That one, of course, is pending. And Town of Hermosa water sewer extension project is pending. Hermosa Hills drainage is pending till we have final review. Item G is the Whitney Street drainage. We're waiting, I made a call to South Dakota Rural Water. Has Mike called you back yet?
No.
So I left a message with him to call, give us an idea, he said after the rally, so that he could get with us on that portion of it and finish up what he's got to do. So as soon as I know, I'll let all three of you, everybody know. Gail will get contact to you on that portion of it. Item H is that 5th Street repair discussion, and we had, I think she put that under new business, didn't you? On the certificate of occupancy.
I put it under old business.
Yep. So we'll have discussion of that repair on that then, under old business, on that portion of it. I is the Roy's Drive-In sewer line, that's pending. Also, talked to him, they were gonna have their information to us, and somebody hacked all their accounts. So their fraud portion of it, they're trying to straighten out. His daughter does all of their books, or sister, I'm sorry, and she's trying to straighten out that. And then they'll get the pump records to us, and then he wanted a copy of the tape of that day when we had that meeting, so he could explain it directly to Carl, his partner, and then get back to us directly on that portion of it. So that was all the report I had from that one.
When did he expect to have the records?
I hope soon, very soon. I told him as soon as,
Well, I extended it by 2 weeks to Friday at noon.
well, it's just a matter, with him getting his accounts hacked and where they were at financially and what took place there, I said, we need still our stuff immediately. So, I'll call him, reaffirm that and let you know.
Okay.
And I'll call him tomorrow, back. The facility plan for booster water mains, possibly to add to USDA, is being moved that direction, as well as the rural development application. It's all pending, so. Item 9 is the planning and zoning. We have the August 9th, 2022 minutes in front of you. B is the permit, 2021-25 digging, grading Southern Hills RV Park extension. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make that.
Hendrickson makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Schumacher. No further discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item C is the 2022-12 residential building, 315 Manning Street, revised location of carport.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion from Hendrickson. Do I have a second? Second from
Second.
Schumacher. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and then all abstain, of course. Item D is permit 2022-23 digging, grading, manufactured moving, Walnut Grove Mobile Home Park, Lot 59.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Hendrickson makes that motion,
Second.
second by Schumacher. Further discussion with the board. Not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Motion to remove BCD.
So moved.
Schumach makes the motion, Hendrickson seconds the motion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried, thank you, board. And item number 10, we have Public Works, and as going into that is what you just referenced from Mr. Haig. If the board feels item F should be discussed in executive session, then so be now that be heard.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, so I have a motion that be an executive session from Kramer. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Schumach. Further discussion? And then Mr. Ferguson, you'll be asked to stay then for that executive session, please. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to vote no.
Oh, nay?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Ferguson, then committee report, B, C, well, A and B.
Okay, on B, street signs or the speed limit signs, stop signs, and those have been done and built. Street lights, REA was down yesterday, I believe, and trying to assess all the damage we have. And we've got several wires that were cut during the boring and stuff that went on. And so those, where they were cut, those holes have been left open for repair. The problem that we have is that those street lights are wired directly into the transformers. So they have to open those up and disconnect those wires to make repairs, and then they will hook them back up. And some of them are expensive enough that you have to replace the wiring rather than splicing. So we'll have to determine that when they get back down here. I'm assuming they're coming back in the next few days.
Okay.
The water situation, I think that probably that occurred over the fair, and then one thing another happened last year, exact same time, that the water levels got lower than normal due to the usage. We had set up an additional pumping station down at the lower pump house in case of fire. And we flushed the well on the hill and put it online to the tune of 60,000 gallons. And there was some concern from board members and one or two citizens. Usually when you have a situation of this nature, DNR and rural water and those people will tell you that the person that's most familiar with the operation of this equipment and usage and that type of stuff is your operator, who is more familiar than anybody, and the numbers that appear when the water levels are at one stage or another. So, in my opinion, there was not a crisis. However, it didn't hurt anything to fire up the other well. My concern is that if there had to be notification to DNR to do that, and of course it happened on a weekend, so that was not possible. I know they had given us permission in the past that if we absolutely positively needed to use that water, that it was okayed. And my opinion on an emergency is when that well down there goes down.
Correct.
And in this case, that was not the case. However, we did flush it for a couple hours and put it online to the tune of 60,000 gallons. And that was non-conforming water at the point at that time. So I'm going to have a discussion with rural water to see, you know, if that is an issue. I believe that the amount that was put in there probably was diluted to the point where it isn't an issue. So we'll discuss that at a later date.
Okay,
Sewer, Lagoon is doing wonderful. All this hot weather and wind and one thing and another is having a very positive effect on that. Pumping and that kind of stuff will be discussed in the executive session. We did get our quarterly results on the lower well, and for some reason it passed again.
good.
So the thing, probably, I believe this is 4 consecutive quarters, is it not, Gail?
I'm not positive.
Not positive about that. We may be taken off quarterly if we have 4 consecutive quarters
Yep.
that it's in compliance.
Keep us
Good news.
posted on that.
Yeah.
Great.
Did you girls get to talk about the land application with Megabauers yet? So I know that was in the minutes last meeting too, that you girls were gonna get with them. Might be something, Greg, that you think about, to get with Vicki and Terry, and for the land applying down here, we'd like to get with you and do our contract like we've done in the past, and get that all situated if we could, please, so.
Okay.
That'd be very welcomed. I thought maybe that's why you were here tonight.
So,
Okay. Okay, and then, with the southern, yes,
Thank you. So what percentage is are the tanks at now as far as full?
Well, they're 3/4 full. I mean, we recovered within about 8 hours. So
And that was 8 hours with the other well intact, or
with the other pump running.
with the other pump running?
The way that it was going, it probably would have recovered on its own in 12 hours probably. So
okay,
So then what you're telling me there is that the water going in that was added was only 1/3 of the water that went into it? If you're telling me
I
it
think
took,
there was approximately, yes, I think there was 180-some thousand went in that day.
all right, thank you.
and then we had, of course, South Dakota Rural Water, the daily readings spreadsheet, and the CMOM discussion, we've heard nothing back, so. And then once, Mike comes in from Rural Water, he'll of course check the readings and spreadsheets and make sure how everything is on them. So that way we'll have that all good to go. You have a question?
Yeah, are the water restrictions still on, or are they,
Yes.
I mean, they're on till when? Till winter?
Normally September.
Oh, September?
Yeah, that's what, we kind of just followed the pattern of City of Rapid City and what they do. In September 1, they go off.
Okay.
So everything relaxes, you get a little more moisture, a little cooler, you know. And then, you know, it's a situation like Dollar General or any of them that are trying to water. They should come in for permits and ask for a waiver. For them is what they do in City of Rapid City, so. you know, we could ask them that. They are using a lot trying to do their sod down there and get that established. And you had one more, Mr.
Yeah,
Ferguson?
one of the problems, an age-old problem, is the house numbers. We've fought this for years on getting legible numbers on these houses. So when you drive around and somebody's sprinkler system's going off, if you can't read the number on the house, how the hell do you know whether it's an odd or an even number to see whether they're in violation or not? And some people absolutely have no idea what a house number should look like. They'll put a silver number on a white house. You can't read it from a distance.
Sure.
I mean, if you got a white house, you need black numbers. If you got a red house, put white numbers on it or something that's very easily seen. I've had quite a few discussions with Greg, again, over there in the trailer park. Safety reasons, meter readings, all of that. That park needs to be numbered front and rear. Because when we get a complaint or a situation of a water shut off or a reread or something, unless Linda or I both remember what that number is, you don't know if you're shutting the wrong guy's water off or not.
See, and we've talked about it, and what would be a good thing is Linda's going through as you're going around to bring them attentions to Gail and them problem spots. Plus, she's gonna hit the water bills with putting it on the back of them to remind everybody they need to be bold, they need to be represented so that we can see for 911 purposes as well as for emergency purposes, meter reading purposes.
It makes it very difficult because, you know, it doesn't matter. 911, you know, they go to a house. There's one guy down there who's been painting his house for 2 years. He took the numbers off and,
Yeah.
you know, it's also watering several days a week.
That's something we'll work towards then on that, and then with Gail and Jill and work through that and get a notice made.
And we need to check our ordinances for that too.
Yep, it's there.
No.
Size and color,
Backside the shop.
size and color.
I'm not sure if
Is in the
size and
ordinance.
color's on there, but it is a
And
ordinance.
let's
We
get
left it
that
out.
checked into that for size and color.
That'd be a good follow-up.
The trailer park down south, they used to have, their numbers on the lamp posts.
Yes.
But most of them have worn off and a few of the lamp posts are even gone, so,
Most of the lamps have been run over.
there you go, yeah. So,
Okay, so if we'll work progress on that, that'll be helpful. Anything further, Mr. Ferguson?
No.
Okay. Item 11 is Finance Office.
So in the board packet is a trial balance of the current trial balance year-to-date August 2022. To date, we have received $291,606,000 in revenue, and expenditures are at $314,284 in the general fund. So I can't say the word loss, but it is a loss of $22,677 at this point in the general fund. Revenues are coming in. I think I just received the revenues of from the state of for $14,000. So this is just a trial balance. I don't know if anybody has any other questions about the financial report.
And we'll know more when we get closer to the end of the season. When finals all come in and the sales tax and CMBs, all of that, so. Anything further?
Yeah, I have a couple of things I need to just verify with the board. One of them is that there's a person that is moving down, or wants to build on West Court, south on West Court, just south of where Mike Carp used to live.
Okay.
So we were told by Custer County that Hermosa's job is to name the street address. And I'm not sure if that goes to planning and zoning first? Okay.
So they
Okay.
can verify lot size, verify if it's gonna even work there.
Okay,
Because if they're gonna do it in that small area where the carport is, that's pretty small for meeting square footages.
he looked at, he took the ADU, the accessory dwelling
gonna
unit
say that
ordinance
would-
this morning, so he's looking at that.
Yep.
And then he also talked about a double wide. And so I don't know, but they'll look, they need to verify
They'll
lot
have
size
to
and,
do their
okay,
paperwork, come in, verify lot sizes
Okay.
and what they are, and ask for what they are, and it's a matter of them developing the street to it. Because that's just like a development, they'll have to do all that portion of it themselves and establish that. But
Okay.
that'll all be discussed in P and Z.
okay, all right, thank you. Bill Last called today, he's South Dakota, he's with our Black Hills Council of Local Governments. He received a call from a person by the name of Andrew Park. He's working with an attorney, an environmental attorney in Rapid City, and he's wanting a career in urban planning. So he's interning with an attorney in Rapid City, and somehow they knew about the structural relocation we had after the FEMA disaster, and he wanted to know, Bill Last wanted to know if it was okay that he gave them the narrative on how the project explained the project. He's read the narrative. He said there's nothing personal in there. There's nothing in there that would give any names or anything like that in the narrative, and just wanted to make sure that the board would be okay on giving that out to this person.
I think, if we know more of what his study is going to involve and what the impact of the study is, and that we get to see the study before he releases the study, would be very helpful. We've had too many of them incidences, and it comes back to bite us after it's been released, and then we didn't get a chance to review it.
More information.
Yep, exactly right.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to give you a heads up that Jill is going to take the September 5th through the 9th off. So she'll be out of the office for a week. And then I also wanted to ask if there's a possibility that I can bring up a personnel issue in the executive session.
Certainly,
Okay,
we can do legal and personnel.
okay. And that's it.
Okay, excellent. Anything further from the board to the finance officer? Okay. Item 12 is old business. The annexation of Gumbo Lily Fairgrounds Place, McDermott Street. We're going to revisit that in our work session. Next 23rd, I think is that. Yeah. So we'll have that we'll be discussing at that meeting. Yes, sir.
What are all the items on discussion for that work session? Just a reminder, please.
We did have concrete ordinance, public works, and we had then the annexation. And since we were with P and Z on that, we thought it'd be very helpful that everybody's involved with all of them subjects.
I would like to add, if possible, a discussion on the mosquito spraying and
In the work session or
yeah,
just on
in
the
the works
agenda?
on the work session.
We'll see how much is left on the end of it.
Thank you. Oh, you got a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you're on the annexation of Fairgrounds Place, I guess I'd like to ask some questions and make some comments if I could. I'm Jim Preston with the American Legion. That's-
CM will have, that's why that work session would be very helpful. What the discussion in that work session will involve, Jim, will be on that area and redesigning the whole template of everything. And going back to the drawing board is basically what's happening.
Okay,
So,
when is this work session?
23rd,
What, 20?
23rd. next Tuesday.
Okay, 23rd of August, and we're invited, and we can ask
Oh, yeah.
questions
Yeah.
about
Oh, yeah.
why you
Oh, yeah.
wanna annex the Legion.
Yep, yep,
Okay, that's be a better place than this.
yep,
Okay.
yep, that'd be excellent.
I need a time, man, I need a pen, I'm sorry.
Starts at 6 at P and Z, and then right after P and Z, which usually will last 15 minutes if that. And then we'll go right into the work session after that.
On 6 o'clock, excuse me, on August 23rd. Here,
Yep,
I would say that
and that's.
annexation might be later on the agenda. If-
No, we'll do it.
no, we'll probably
You
do
wanna do
that
that
first.
first?
I think
Okay.
that's a Tuesday by my memory.
It is.
Yes.
Good memory.
Well, I'm trying to work everything in here, but okay. All right, thank you. If that's the best place to do this, we'll be here.
It will be.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that annexation, and does that go to the public too for voting, or is it
If-
just you guys that only can vote?
In the final process, if it goes through involuntary, then it does.
That goes to the public for voting?
Correct, correct.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. All right, B is the town sign, that's pending. C, town office, deck staining is also still pending. Larry Berry deck staining, mud jacking. I talked to Greg today. I know we haven't been able, any of us, get together, but I pulled the trigger with him, asked him if he could come down and meet us and walk through it.
Okay.
And I expressed my list with him on that, and where we were at on that, and what I would like to see us accomplish on that. And he is very open to it, and what we need to do, and I said it'd be better when it cools off anyway.
Dan? On the deck staining, what do you need to do on that?
We just gotta
Just stain
get
it,
a
that's
contractor
it?
to, yeah, somebody to bid it, or somebody wants to do it, or
My-
pressure wash it and stain it. And,
That's all it's gonna take?
yep.
I would help that.
You wanna help stain it? Let's
Yeah,
just get it stained.
in
and-
September,
Yeah,
when it's a little cooler.
yeah, let's just get it stained and get
And I
it
got
out
my
there.
pressure washer
If
down
you
there,
pressure
and we
wash
can
it,
pressure
We'll
wash
stain
it.
it,
We can blow it off for you guys, and
yeah.
then roll it, and then we gotta pick up a few brushes and some stain.
Let's just
And
get
just
it
make
done
it
and
a
get it off this thing.
Ford project.
Okay,
I like
I'm
that.
okay with that.
And then what I figured out on all of the sidewalk, from the raising of the panels and going through everything, was about 4,090, I think I figured up. 4,050, to go through everything on that portion of it. So when Greg gets a chance to get back with me, he's gonna call. We'll set up a time. I'll see who all is available. I'll make it afternoon, so that way whomever's off, and then we'll get together and go through it.
Okay,
4,000.
that's what you think's gonna cost?
Yeah, well, that's what the numbers were. He had all of his descriptions. Remember, I gave you guys all a copy of this? And each segment had a price by it, to lift, raise, grind, whichever he was. So some of them that I said that I don't feel we needed versus the ones I felt we did need, I went through and added in for what I thought the cost would be, close to his cost, and then figured what a rough total would be with everything it needed. And there's some of it that's pretty rough. And as Mr. Ferguson's aware of, in the wintertime, he knows how rough some of them get. So that's why we want to try to handle most of that and see where we're at. So I just thought I'd bring you guys up to speed on that, and then we'll deal with it. And then, once again, E is still a pending situation too, until we get Mike down here on that situation. So F, the Hermosa School Certificate of Occupancy, we had put that suggestion of if anything happened on Fifth Street, that they would be open to helping us with that if it prematurely broke apart. And of course, they won't accept that certificate of occupancy, so they want a clear bill of health on it. And we all anticipated that.
Yeah.
So I'd like a motion to just allow it to be a straight
Motion?
certificate of occupancy. The engineer approved everything else on it, and so
Just read it.
Kramer makes it, and
Second.
Hendrickson seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. It's just-
Opposed, same sign.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Oh,
Carried,
so I just delete, I take off that request?
yeah, and
Okay.
just make it straight across the board.
Okay.
We can remove item F off the agenda.
Make the motion.
Second.
Thomason makes that motion, Hendrickson seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, board. 13, we have the new business, the water user rates, Prairie Winds, and NHWU.
Well, I have a question about the North Water users.
And we have Bill in the audience that
Ada,
is here with it.
okay. The North Water users, there was a resolution signed a year ago, stating that they get, their rates are a little cheaper. And I asked Gail to check into that, and she can't find anything in the minutes that reflects why that is done. And I would wanna know what you, as you board members, can remember. The reason
North
why.
water rates cheaper. I know we raised water rates out of town higher.
Yes, but their rates are lower.
Shouldn't be, it should be straight
And
across
they
the
are
board.
lower.
They are lower. The North Hermosa water users are
Way lower.
way lower than the out-of-town residential.
I'll have to correct that one too.
Vicki, do you
Should be.
remember anything?
It should have been straight across the board, and I thought when we went through and redid our water rates, that's when it should have been in effect where we had mentioned out-of-town users.
They were increased from what they were before,
Right.
but they're lower than what the out-of-town residential are. I looked, I couldn't find it in the recordings of anywhere, because we don't record work sessions, and that was a work session that was done in. So I don't know why, but if I need to raise them to the out-of-town rates, I can do that.
Yeah, they need to be straight across the board.
I think we need
There you go.
I think we're gonna need a motion on that.
I
Well,
think,
We don't think we can
Because
do
that's,
that right
well,
now.
actually, you're right, we can't do
We
that.
can't do
No,
that right
not
now.
till we put it on the agenda.
Chuck
But
has
it,
one.
yeah, we aren't gonna, it's
No, we can't
resolution.
do that.
So what we'll do is we'll add this to our agenda, for the next meeting.
With the work session meeting or the regular meeting?
Regular.
Depends on the work sessions growing
Regular.
quickly. I think it should be. And then any research we can do on it, we can then make that aspect of it, so.
Chuck had his hand up, I
Yeah.
don't know if he has any
I was just
information.
trying to finish
Yeah,
up with
so
what
that's-
we're doing with our other stuff here, and then I'll move to them. Yes, sir.
Well, Prairie Winds and the North users are two separate issues altogether.
Correct.
Yes.
We're not, we're exactly right. That's why it's just,
Yeah.
was a situation where that was brought up, so. So we'll put that on our next agenda, discuss that, and have that portion of it handled.
Okay.
And then,
Did you have extra copies of this, or is this?
I think maybe you had one in your new paperwork that was sitting here. If you don't, you can have mine, and I'll give another one from Gail, that's fine.
Here, Vicki, would you guys wanna look at this one?
Each grant. So, as far as the other, there's some discussion on their rates also, the Prairie Winds, and it has been, through the system that we have, it has been this way for many, many years, but it is also not quite fair, in comparison to other citizens in Hermosa. So that one possibly needs to be changed also. And but that can happen, I believe, with the new system. That can happen, and so it would basically just be a notification that your rates will probably change a little bit for your trailer park to make it the same as all other town citizens. So,
Okay, you're gonna have to explain a little further.
yes. Gail?
Yeah, so can you just kind of what is the rationale, what's the difference, that sort of thing?
Do you want to?
So I think it's your in the town of Hermosa, each citizen gets charged a minimum, and then the overages also get charged out to each citizen. Correct. In your system, I'm not sure that you are getting billed for each trailer as an individual. And the overages then would be, that would be a combined rate as far as, we don't know because we don't read each individual meter. So that would still be yours.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Now, having said that, it's not a big deal, but how do you propose to figure out what each citizen's overage is?
That will not be us. That will be you, as you directly charge them anyway. We will just be charging for each individual user and then the total overages. It's the same rate for total overage, and so that would be your job to decide who's using more water or not using more water. The big thing is the amount of actual users, and the one thing that would be different for you that you will have to definitely call the office about is if you have somebody move out and you have a lot that's empty for several months, you'll have to inform the town staff and when someone moves in then.
Yeah, I'm just struggling with the idea of running my own. It's been a continual problem, of course, running my own water system.
Yes.
And I cannot necessarily guarantee the accuracy of each and every one of those water meters. You understand that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Without individual meters.
And
Well,
we,
I mean, the meters aren't necessarily the best in the world, by the way. So and sometimes they aren't working. We have to get them out and fix them.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a.
I
understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying. B, I'm kind of grappling with exactly how I accomplish that to your
Right.
satisfaction.
normally, have the records shown that they, with the amount of individual users they have and the amount of water they're getting charged for, are they in the overage or not, generally speaking?
You're in the overage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be, I don't know if you just keep an eye on your
Well, okay,
lots through the month and charge the one that's
Sure.
pouring water on their green grass or what?
It's fine. Whatever you think is right.
It just has to be fair to the other citizens is the big thing.
Yes.
So what you can do is you can walk through that with the girls and see what it is and keep Bill in the loop on it.
Yeah.
And then, go ahead, Gail.
We went back a few years, Dr. Roggenfield, and saw that there was. We went back several years, and it's been happening for many years, and we just sometimes it goes over, sometimes it doesn't.
That's the way it is. Yeah.
So,
Sometimes
So-
people use more water.
yeah. So for you to be aware that this will be changing, we won't change it as a board. I guess I shouldn't say that. I believe we shouldn't change it until the new system comes through, and then it'll be kind of an automatic thing that the new system will automatically handle that. So whether it's not, it won't be this billing period, would it be the next billing period or the period after that maybe, that the change will come through. And I'm glad you're here because we're gonna send notification of that, but
Well, yeah, so I look forward to your suggestions on what I should do. And I'm sure you'll come up with something very good.
Well, it's just the new software that we're coming out with, and that's what's going to adjust and put everything at an even balance. And so that's where the adjustments will come and where the calculations will be made and the overages will be shown.
So am I correct, you don't have individual meters on each one of those houses?
In general, we do. There's a couple where they're not functioning right at the moment.
Because that's how you would be able to read who,
That's right, yeah.
but,
And we've never worried about it, to tell you the truth, that much. Because we're talking relatively small amounts of money. Both the overages and the underages, if that's a word. I mean, it's really sometimes more effort to do this than.
I can show you the bookkeeping that we've done. I've got it in a,
Yeah.
so if you, I can give that to you, show you what's happened.
I was gonna say, show the balances, show what we're gonna be at and what estimation is gonna be. And that way then he'll be more clear on that part of it. Okay, and then further, any more on that report? You good, Gail?
Yes.
Okay. Item B, first reading of the ordinance 2.075 appropriating funds for the fiscal year of 2023. Gail?
After discussion with Kent, I'm gonna, even though the ordinances are just usually read in title only, I'm gonna read the amounts and everything, quickly go through that. So it's Town of Hermosa Ordinance 2.075, an ordinance appropriating funds for the fiscal year 2023. Section 1, be it ordained by the Town of Hermosa that the following sums are appropriated to meet the financial needs of the municipality for the fiscal year 2023. In the general government fund under revenue were $281,750 for sales tax revenues. Levied property tax is $56,725. Other miscellaneous tax is $200. Licenses are $3,375. Permits are $7,500. State shared is $4,750. County shared is $10,865. Interest miscellaneous donations are $10,520. Rentals, the shop across the street is $5,850. Liquor operating revenue is $30,000, and then the garbage collection is $55,200, for a total in the general fund of $466,735. Under the water department, we have a permit. We decided not to put any money in for permits because of the building right now, but we have the operating revenue at $140,000. The surcharge revenue is at $15,600. The miscellaneous revenue is $4,150. Grants and loans, that's the grant and loan that we hope to get October, November for the WRT, for a total of $659,750. In the revenue under sewer is the operating revenue is $102,000. Surcharge revenue is $4,890. We transferred in $21,330 from water into the sewer account for $128,000, for a total of $128,220. Debt service is the property tax is $82,391. The penalty, interest, and other taxes is $250. An unassigned balance is in the negative of $65,831. That's to show a balanced budget for the expenses for a total of $16,810. The gross receipts, that's the bed, board, and booze tax. We budgeted $8,307 from the sales tax. for a total of $8,307. The FEMA fund is just in there. It's a construction account that we have $1,500. We have it in the revenue and the expenses just to balance it out for when we do our annual report. We don't have any monies coming in. We don't have any monies going out. Section 2, the following designates the fund or funds to which the money derived from the following sources is applied. General government for, this is the general fund. The town board is $32,220.38. The election board is $1,215. Planning and zoning is $4,695. The finance office administration is $131,465. The street department is $77,213.62, and the garbage collection is $51,990. Under public safety, we budgeted $88,000. For professional fees, we budgeted in the attorney fees for $25,000. The engineer is $50,000. Building inspector, we budgeted $3,000, and the government buildings, which is our custodian, $1,936. In the water department, we budgeted water expenses $98,263. The capital improvement expenses is $500,000. That's the WRT. We transferred out $33,826, and excuse me. So then we have in water we have the rural development water project. That's our loan for the rural developments. That's $16,669. The SRF loan, and that's our yearly payments that we make. The SRF loan is $5,973. The rural development DOT Main Street project is $2,502. We have the reserves for the issued debt is $2,517. So in the sewer, we budgeted for sewer expenses $124,002, and the rural development loan is $3,835. Our required reserves for that is $383, or 10% of what goes out for that debt. The debt service, we have the TIF water sewer loans is $15,282, and then we obviously budgeted the 10% for the reserves for the issued debt, which is $1,528. Under the gross receipts, we budgeted $8,307, and then the FEMA fund is $1,500. And both totals of those are $1,281,322. Section 3, that there is hereby levied upon all taxable property within the town of Hermosa for the fiscal year 2023 a tax sufficient to raise the following funds. For the general fund is $66,965. And Section 4, that isn't, we don't need to do that yet tonight. That's directed to certify the tax. So that is the first reading for the ordinance appropriating funds for 2023.
Thank you.
Okay, anything further? All right, item number 14 is the items from citizens. I do want to remember the amount of time allotted in the individuals may be limited, and the individuals shall refrain from discussing personalities. The rest of the board meeting we've already went through. Of course, no action is taken on any of these items unless it's brought back forth on the agenda. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I won't take long. Jim Preston. Just a question on this Department of Ag and Natural Resource letters dated July 23rd from the Secretary of the VNAR.
Correct.
Okay. Did John get a copy of this?
I don't know.
Okay.
If he came in
Well,
and
I think
picked
he
one
was
up.
interested in this, if he had, he's been out of town, so I don't know. But I guess my question, what are you doing about this? What's the board doing about this?
We're gonna have some discussion in executive session about that tonight, so.
Okay.
So we are moving forward with it, to find a resolution to the problem and put it together. And we won't know until we, talk with the board on it. We're aware of the 4 letters and what we've been, where it's been in situations with the variances, and where we're at in the circumstances where it's gonna develop from that point now. And so now it's gonna, pretty much at a legal standpoint is where it's gonna be going into, and where we have to be involved on that segment of it. And once we get to that stage in the road, then we can have public input about it from that stage of it, so.
Can I have a follow-up question based on what you just said?
Pardon?
Can I ask a follow-up question based on what you just said?
Okay.
Okay, as far as the legal, if that's, you're gonna take a legal approach to this, you're not gonna correct what they said was the problem?
I'm sorry, one more time, Jim?
Excuse me. Are you going to, contradict what this is saying legal-wise?
No.
Or are you gonna try to fix what they're saying in here?
Try to fix.
Try to fix. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
This is kind of an eyesore for me, but this tree that's over here by this creek, this garage over here,
Okay.
is all dying and the leaves or the branches are breaking off, the big branches and everything are breaking off, and I was wondering if the town was gonna cut that tree down or something, because it's getting bad. I mean, it's dying.
Guess we've never ever had anybody approach us on
Well,
it, so.
I am now. I mean, I have to look at it.
So we have a 10-page report in there that you can fill out for us, then that way we can address it.
Well, yeah.
And by 2023, we'll have an answer for you.
Okay, all right.
Consider yourself approached.
But we'll take it under consideration and put that on the items
Because
to
I
look
noticed
at.
that you've cut trees back here on isn't this your property over here?
Mhm.
And I mean, I was just wondering, is this your property or is this?
It's
Cities.
city.
But I was gonna say, because the branches, they really are breaking off in there, Kids play around there too, and I'm afraid that some kids are gonna get hit by those dead branches that are falling off that tree.
Yeah, that old Chinese elm has
Yeah.
went through a lot of trouble, and some of it, we'll look at it, see if it can be thinned out, trimmed out, and still remain. It's
Yeah.
got some cover of
Right.
advantages to the building for
Right,
it,
but
but
half of it, I think, is just completely dead.
sure,
You know,
yep, we'll
so-
take a good look at it.
Because I just don't wanna get those kids that are walking around there, I don't wanna get hurt.
Sure.
With those big branches that are falling off when the wind's blowing.
Sure.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd also like to talk in reference to the 4th letter that came from South Dakota DANR. And all 4 letters, it is stated that the project drawings were not sent to the state for approval. It's very clear in the laws and the ordinance at the state that should have happened, and that the responsibility lied on the engineer that was doing the project. I guess what my concern is that potentially cost us, the city, us taxpayers, a lot of money because they weren't sent in like they were supposed to. What my concern is, and I'd like to address it with the board again, that we do not use that engineer for anything in the future. She knowingly violated state laws, and one of the board members knew that. And that's why in the last meeting, I asked for that board member to resign and also for that engineer not to be allowed anymore in the future. Bottom line, they broke the law and we're still using them. That's my position. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, before we go into trustee input, we'll go into.
One more,
Yeah.
Dan, if you could.
Yes, sir.
I'm Jim Baker. We're just here on behalf of the Fair Board. And this might not be really the right place to discuss this, but wanted to just talk to you guys for a few minutes, maybe more informational than anything. We're planning on fencing the west side of the fairgrounds and the east side along Ferguson Place with steel continuous fence. We planned on doing this before fair time, and we realized too late that a bunch of the corner pins and markers couldn't find them.
Sure.
So we got Anderson Engineering out of Edgemont to come, excuse me, and resurvey, or they didn't really resurvey, they just found the old spots and remarked everything for us. So I guess I have a couple questions if you guys are willing to take a few minutes to go over them. First being, where we're putting just a fence on our property line, do we need a permit or something for that?
It depends, you know, we've got a fence ordinance in the town. It'd be good to come up and have Jill print that off for you.
I've got it right on my desk.
So that way, then you can look at that portion of it and have that where your compliance is, because we've got setbacks and height requirements and all of that.
Right.
But being a county commercial property is a whole different ballgame.
It will essentially be exactly like what's already there, because we want it we want it to all look the same.
Yeah.
What's already around, the portion that's done already.
Yeah.
And our intent is stay either on or inside the property boundary. There's only 2 spots that I guess I wanted to mention what we're wanting to do. So I have a map here, but it's gonna be hard for me to show everybody. But where Matt and Jamie Steen live, if everybody's familiar with that lot, on the north side of that lot, their storage shed is actually over the line a smidge on Fairgrounds property.
Shame on them.
The next property to the east, there's no garden box that's actually partially on Fairgrounds property. We would prefer to just put our fence into our property a little ways, so they don't have to do anything. It can stay in their yards. And that would get us on the north side of that power line that runs east-west.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's power, phone, whatever.
Yeah.
So then, with that being said, we would set back on our property a little ways to clear all those utilities. And then when we turn back going south to that, I don't know the name of the road that was
By Josie there.
East Whitney.
East Whitney.
I think it ends right there past that second house.
Right. Yep. So, what looks like would really work well and look right is if we stayed onto our property just a little ways, the curb ends there, and use that for the boundary. It may be as much as 10 feet onto our property.
Right.
And then put a gate that accesses in, and then on the east end, we were planning a 12-foot gate, steel gate there, and then on the east end, 24-foot steel gates. I don't think it ever gets access from the west, but it could. And then at the point, that would go through the road right away. The gate would, and go right against Leo's barbed wire fence.
Right.
And then at the point in time that road would ever need to would be opened or used or anything, we know we would have to move our gates or, because it would have to be fenced on the north side of that road. Right now it's not, and to us it wouldn't make any sense to fence it because it would just be a lane down through there that never gets used, and then it would need mowed. Now the steers could just eat it. So.
What I would do, Gail's got that application on her desk, she said, and she can leave that with you before you go tonight.
Okay.
And that'll give you all the ABCs of what you gotta do and what we do, and we always wanna work with you guys and
We
make
do
it
have
as
a
easy.
contractor lined up that would like to come really soon and just get it
So
done.
why don't you give them that application and they can
You mean
kinda-
the ordinance?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
and then that way, if there's gotta be any paperwork turned into P&Z,
Anything different they need.
then they can get right on it.
Yeah.
Because P and Z meets this next Tuesday, so it'd be perfect time.
And we could get on the agenda for that meeting
Yep,
if needed.
yep.
Okay,
Fill out
thank
the
you.
form and get her in and
Okay,
get her taken care of.
thank you.
Just don't show the little flower box and don't show the shed.
By Friday, you'd need that information into the town
By Friday, to get on that agenda.
to get on that
Okay,
agenda. Correct.
we can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, I'd like a motion to go into executive session at 7:43, please. We already had one input, sir, but
This is not a citizen's input, this is procedural process question that I'm gonna wanna address. Up at the beginning of the meeting, you asked about adjustments and changes to the agenda. And the way I understand it, you thought you could have made the change there to put the executive session prior to the trustee input. That was not done. I don't think you can just jump around on the agenda according to the way it's supposed to be done. So I guess and the reason we have concern is the citizens like to stay and listen to the trustee input. But when you go into executive session before the trustee input and not following your agenda item, we sat out there for an hour or two waiting to come back in to hear trustee input. That's just a
Thank you.
procedural deal. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't changed at the beginning. We need to follow the agenda.
well, and the thing about it is, if we wanted to go into executive session back under Public Works, we could. But we're trying to be gracious and allow us to get through the agenda to this point instead of calling for that executive session at that point. We could have called for executive session at the very beginning of the meeting as long as it's posted on the agenda. So,
Anywhere on
so
the
I
agenda?
thank you. So I need that motion to go into executive session, please. At 7:45. I got a motion by Kramer, second. Second by Thomason. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
Good night, Jim.
Coming out of executive session.
Correct.
Right, yeah, but we'll wait a minute.
These are the other properties that I had concerns that we need to proceed on.
Is that your buck and a half I sit on the chair?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mentioned I was leaving at 3
Actually, Chuck put it over on the counter.
Yeah,
Whole bottom.
I'll put it on my account in case I need something coffee.
Yeah, right.
That scares me.
Okay, being 9:03, we'll come out of executive session. Do I have a motion?
I made the motion.
Motion by Thomason, second. By Kramer. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. First motion that we come out of executive session on will be that we direct Mr. Haig to take care of the notice of violation order of compliance and settlement agreement. Do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Thompson, second
Second.
by Schumacher. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next motion that I would like is that we allow ACES Engineering to separate the water sewer project on the North Water Sewer Project and submit the water plans to DA&R for approval. Do I have that motion?
Sure.
Motion by Kramer, second
I second.
by Thomason. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Nay.
Motion carried. One nay. So we have trustee input. I'll start with Hendrickson.
Good meeting, glad it went as well as it did. That's it.
Thank you, Thomason.
Good meeting, and learning some new stuff, so really excited.
Schumacher.
Good meeting.
Kramer.
I'm sorry, I do have something on this time. Two things.
Well, go for it.
One is congratulations to Hermosa Coffee Shop. They have successfully been in business for a year, which I think is very awesome. And sad to hear that Steve Hammer has passed. He has served on the town board. And deepest sympathy to his family.
Excellent. Thank you. No, Kramer.
No, good, that was really good.
Yep.
Thank you, it was a good meeting, very informative. I do have a couple of questions. The Custer County meeting is when, and are we on the agenda again? Did I missed
Isn't
the
it
last
tomorrow?
one?
I guess I don't know.
I think it's tomorrow. It always follows us up.
Do you want me
Would you please check on that?
to, let me, before you go, let me look.
Please, yes.
Okay.
And then I haven't heard since we asked them or told them that we were going to start charging for the library. Have we heard anything from them about that? Has
I
there
heard they're
been?
moving to the school,
Okay.
but that's, I heard.
You heard that, you don't?
That is
We
not
have not
official.
heard anything as a town, Gail?
No, we have
Nothing
not.
has come through, okay. That was a couple questions I had. I believe that's all I have,
Like I say, that's not gospel, that's just what I heard.
okay?
What we heard in the commissioners is commissioners weren't that day. They were comfortable, they were appreciative, they thought we were gonna boot them out. And that's what worried them.
Right.
They did not want that circumstance, so.
Has there been any sales downstairs yet? Book sales?
Not that I'm aware
Not
of.
that you're aware of either, okay, that's all my questions, I'll quit now.
Thank you for the board and your hard work tonight. Appreciate all your wisdom and your decisions. And let us move forward in a positive way. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
At 9:07?
9:07. Thomason makes that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Kramer. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, board. Thank you, Mr. Hagan. Yes, sir. Sorry for the late one. Gail.
All right.
Thanks, Ken.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, just like